Today, I want to talk to you about the one habit you can develop to achieve any goal and pursue the life of your dreams. What if I told you there was one habit you could develop that would help you to achieve anything you set your mind to? That's what we're talking about today in this video, where I'm discussing the concept of a growth mindset. A growth mindset is a term that comes to us from the Stanford psychologist, Dr. Carol Dweck. In Dweck's research with school-age children, she found that they had either a fixed or a growth mindset. Those with a fixed mindset believed that their capabilities were already set in stone, that you were either talented at something or not. Something that's important to keep in mind is you can actually have a fixed mindset about something you think you're bad at, which most people have fixed mindsets about, or something you think you are good at. For example, if you think you have a natural aptitude for something, it might be the case that you have a fixed mindset and you don't want that to be proven wrong by making mistakes or showing that you have any room for improvement. Fixed mindset people say a lot of things like, oh, I'm just bad at math, or I've never been good at dancing, or I can't carry a tune in a bucket. But the fixed mindset can actually be a lot more dangerous. When we have a fixed mindset, we don't want to try new things. We are not interested in making mistakes and learning from our failures, which means we often stay within the realm of our comfort zone and very often give up on things that matter to us, because inevitably, if we want to go after a goal, there's going to be some room for improvement in every step of the way. And on the other hand, we have the growth mindset. Now, people with a growth mindset believe that everything is a capability or a set of skills that can be developed over time. This sounds kind of obvious, right? None of us are born knowing how to do things like walk, talk, read, write, play basketball, yet somehow we often lose our sense of having a growth mindset as we enter into adulthood. Think about when you were a small child. You were probably very willing to try something new, to make mistakes, to even fall down and pick yourself back up again. Literally. But unfortunately, we live in a perfectionistic culture that focuses on people who are naturally good at things as if that were really such a thing, and emphasizes that if we were truly talented, something would look effortless and we would never make any mistakes. From my own perspective, having that kind of fixed mindset that we're not allowed to learn and grow from our mistakes is what causes perfectionist paralysis. Perfectionist paralysis strikes us when there's something we want to try, something we want to explore, and yet we tell ourselves that we need to already be good enough in order to get started. A perfect example of this is actually starting a YouTube channel. I know a lot of people who have a lot of really interesting things that they want to talk about and they want to share with other people, but they tell themselves that they need to become better at the skill of making videos before they could even imagine getting started and uploading something to their YouTube channel. I'll even admit that it took me quite a bit of time to overcome my own perfectionist paralysis and apply the concept of a growth mindset to my own videos. I teach my students about growth mindset every semester in my writing classes, and I realized that if I really want my students to adopt this concept of a growth mindset, then I had to walk the walk and show them what it looks like to get started and learn from your mistakes. This is actually the second time I filmed this video. The first time I filmed it, I forgot to turn on my microphone. This is round 2. The best news about developing a growth mindset is it's something that anyone can do. It does require us to be brave and to step outside of our comfort zone, but life gives us a ton of opportunities to shift our mindset from fixed to growth. So what does this look like? Growth mindset comes about through what's called deliberate practice. Deliberate practice is a term that refers to whenever someone wants to accomplish something, they take a deliberate path towards that goal, understanding that it's going to require them to make a lot of mistakes along the way, and most importantly, to take lessons from those mistakes and apply them to their future progress. In my writing classes, I talk a lot about how a growth mindset is the best possible way to become a stronger writer. It is hard for us to receive feedback, especially about something like our writing skills. A lot of students really struggle to take in the feedback or even the criticism that they've received on a piece of writing, whether it's from a peer in class, whether it's from a tutor in the writing center, or even from me when I grade their essays. So before I return those first essays, I like to introduce the concept of a growth mindset and help my students to understand that wherever they fell short in their goal, in their expectation of their result, that is where they have the greatest potential for growth. In fact, in a growth mindset, the goal no longer becomes the achievement of the thing, whether that was to get an A on a paper or to reach a certain number of subscribers on YouTube. In fact, the goal becomes the learning in the process, the journey along the way towards whatever goal we set out for ourselves. Developing a growth mindset involves focusing on persistence and grit. Grit, as described by the researcher Angela Lee Duckworth, is known as passion and perseverance for long-term goals. In a growth mindset, everything is seen as something that is a set of skills or abilities that can be developed over time. You can think about a child learning a language, or even if you've had the experience of learning a language as an adult. Someone with a growth mindset would be really focused on all the areas left for improvement, whether that's building their vocabulary, practicing their grammar, practicing listening skills or conversation skills with others, maybe even native speakers of the language. Someone with a fixed mindset, on the other hand, is terrified of making mistakes because that will confirm their fear that they are no good at this skill. So they give up really easily as soon as there's a challenge in their path. In my opinion, the reason we often have a fixed mindset is we are afraid to experience the emotions that will arise whenever we step outside of our comfort zone and make mistakes in order to grow. If you're someone who's interested in learning how to process and allow the emotions to flow through you, then check out this video up here. That can be really helpful whenever you need to process emotions like fear, anxiety, or even shame, which is an emotion that's going to come up if we try something that requires us to be brave, be courageous, and go after whatever it is we desire. If you really want to take this growth mindset concept and run with it, I encourage you to choose a goal and think about what forms of deliberate practice you can start to implement into your own life in order to achieve that goal. And then keep a log of all the mistakes, all the failures, and most importantly, the lessons learned from those experiences. In my own journey to make videos for my YouTube channel, I have learned a ton, mostly from making mistakes. Every time I film a video and upload it to YouTube, I record everything I've learned from the experience, including a lot of things that I plan not to do in the future. One of my favorite strategies for developing a growth mindset is to choose intentional thoughts to think on purpose whenever you are working towards your goal. If you want to learn more about how to do that, check out this video right here. I love helping people use the power of growth mindset and intentional thoughts, as well as emotional literacy, to go after whatever it is in this life that they dream of accomplishing. If you're somebody who's looking for extra help on how to accomplish your goals, then check out the link in my bio and book a free consult call to meet with me and learn a little bit more about the work I do to help people achieve their dreams. Thanks for watching.